Husband doesn't consider anyone but himself, and I'm starting to hate him.
I mean, good reason to hate him.
That is a very good reason. Some people do be selfish.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is the last story I picked, and I didn't read it at all. All right.
So it's going first.
I, 28, female, have started not being able to stand my husband, male 28, for the last few months. I feel like he doesn't think about anything but himself in situations and gets upset when you bring it up, and it's really starting to bother me. We've been together 8 years, married for 6, and have no children. For example, our water hose recently burst a leak and our basement lightly flooded.
Oof.
It was not the entire basement, but was mainly concentrated to the area where the hose was outside. When we got home and saw this, I started grabbing towels and soaking up what I could, and then grabbing a mop and wringing it out into a bucket to get what I could.
Just for you guys, because I know you don't know what basements are. It's like underground parts of the house.
I've had a basement in the past.
I'm just fucking with you.
An attic, but underground?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is going on? Darker. Wow.
Cooler? Yeah, it's nice.
Wow.
Has a fake brick wall sometimes?
It does. It does. Fake a lot of walls.
Instead of helping me, he just stood there and watched me as if he was supervising me.
What?
After some time, I asked him if he was just going to stand there, and he yelled, "Well, what the fuck do you expect me to do?" and continued to be hostile towards me. I ended up going to rent a shop vacuum. That was a weird
Rent a shop vacuum.
Rent a shop vacuum. I went to rent a shop vacuum. And a giant fan.
It's actually a rental place. It's called Renta.
Oh, Rent a Shop. Okay, yeah. I'm never wrong, Wikimaniacs. I ended up going to rent a shop vacuum and a giant fan while he just sat on the couch Googling things while I was gone. My mom stopped by to help me and bring a sump pump in case I needed it. And he was so angry and rude when she showed up that she just ended up leaving.
What the fuck?
He told me he was going to call my mom and apologize, but he never did. This really showed me how he would react in an emergency situation, and it left a bad taste in my mouth.
How is this the first time in 8 years you've seen him in an emergency situation?
They must be some careful people.
Yeah.
They plan to a T.
I just can't imagine. Like I cut my finger the other day. That was kind of an emergency. It was pretty serious, and like that's not even the first time.
Married 6 years, together for 8, and no emergencies.
Kudos.
Yeah,
kudos.
But maybe this is just the first time she's noticed it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Fast forward to now, we are on vacation, roughly 3 weeks after the flooding, which has been planned for some time and I thought would alleviate some of the stress in our lives. I don't know what I was thinking because it's genuinely done the opposite. We are in another country, and the moment we touched down, he kept saying how he is going to fuck me and asking multiple times if we could have sex. I told him I've just traveled for so many hours and have been awake for like 24 and I'm jet lagged, but if he could stop asking and just let us enjoy ourselves, maybe I'll feel up to it. He probably asked me 5 more times after that, and I told him that begging like a teenage boy doesn't make me want to at all, and he agreed to stop.
That's pathetic.
Yes.
Yeah, especially after the outrage he had.
Yeah, read the room, buddy. Like read the situation too. Who the hell wants to do that after like 30 hours of flying? I'd be wanting to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's John.
And that's me.
That's John 5 times a day, John, that you're talking to right now.
The 5-time.
5-time world champion.
1 pump, 5-time. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ. Efficiency.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, baby.
That's not good.
We go out on the town and he is racing ahead of me at every turn, and it genuinely looks like we're not even together. while couples around us are holding hands and taking in the views. I told him that it makes me feel embarrassed that he keeps racing around ahead of me and he keeps saying, "Sorry, I just want to get there." Or, "Sorry, I'm hungry." Or, "Sorry, you're just walking too slow."
This is Sienna on any vacation.
She'd be tweaking everywhere.
She's like gunning for the next restaurant, and I'm just like sweating behind her, like, "Oh, God damn, slow down a little bit." She's like, "You're too slow."
Former semi-pro soccer player.
Way out of shape.
And kind of just being annoyed that I would be upset by him speeding past me. Then we go for a hike, and it opened up to genuinely the most beautiful scenery I had ever seen in my life. And he looks at me and goes, "You know, this would be a great place for a blowjob."
Oh,
Jesus. Come on, guys.
What a romantic.
This is like those TikToks where it's like a guy who can't have fun, and it's just like a nice area, just like, imagine a Walmart here.
It's like, oh no, he slipped on the cliff.
This was my final straw, and I just broke down and started crying. I was sexually assaulted as a child, so being constantly battered with sexual remarks makes me feel like I have no control over my own body and own sexuality, and it brings me right back to that place. I told him this and have told him this countless times, and he told me, "Oh, I'm just joking," or, "Oh, I'm sorry, and it won't happen again."
You don't joke around about shit like that.
No, especially when they've confided in you about that.
Mm-hmm. We go back and forth a bit more, and I don't want my vacation ruined as I've always dreamed of coming to this country, so I'd move on and try to enjoy my trip. Things are going okay with the rest of the trip. He did leave me alone sexually for a while, but the last 2 days he kept going back at it, being like, quote, "Just lay on your back and relax," throwing up emoji.
Oh.
Or every time I would walk by, he would say he is addicted to my body while grabbing his penis, saying things like, "Oh, baby, I want you so bad," and all of this stuff.
Does he think that's good?
I don't, yeah.
Like, what?
I don't think anybody is wanting that, or if that's going to get the mood started for.
Or if
Especially-
that's like,
It might work. It might work to some people,
Yeah.
but this person, especially the way
Not OP.
she confided with him.
yeah.
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 This guy sucks.
And she's just begging this guy to stop, and he won't.
Mhm.
It is nice that someone feels that way about me, but it is so overwhelming when it is nonstop. It genuinely makes me want to smash a glass vase over my head that hopefully gouges my eyes and ears out so I don't have to see or hear him anymore.
I mean, you could also do it
To him,
instead of yourself.
Yeah, to him. I
Yeah.
think we would all enjoy that.
Yes.
I don't typically wish violence on people, but in this
Historically-
situation,
Never,
historically
actually.
not correct, actually.
I've never seen or heard John.
I've
wish
never said
violence.
anything like that, John.
Cut to a
Don't
30
pull
clip
footage,
view.
people. I never said that ever.
It's Always Sunny theme music. John wishes violence upon people.
Yeah.
I would never wish fruition on anyone, all right?
I was just so thankful that I finally got my period so that he would just leave me alone. However, he just went on about how engorged my boobs are instead. When I tell him it makes me feel like a piece of meat, he instead gets upset at me and says, "Oh, stop. Obviously, I don't feel like you're a piece of meat." Okay, sure. Now we are at the airport and we go to get food before the flight and orders his food. When the lady asks if there's anything else and I start speaking, he speaks over me and says, "No, nothing else."
Oh.
He pays and then looks at me and goes, "Oh shit, I forgot you had to get food too." And I was like, yeah, that was kind of fucking rude. And he genuinely gets upset and goes, "Oh, calm down. You could still just order and pay." But it's not about that. It's about the
Yeah.
literal lack of thinking about me and my feelings in any situation and only thinking of just himself. Like he genuinely isn't capable of seeing past himself unless someone points it out. While we are sitting and eating, I tried showing him something I like that I saw on my phone, and he just quick glances at it and goes back to what he is doing and dismisses me. Then, when he sees I'm upset, he starts to apologize and saying he didn't mean it and he's sorry about ordering and paying for food and that he didn't even realize and it won't happen again. Like I haven't heard all of that before. Has anyone ever dealt with this? I know a lot of people probably think, why are you still with him? And there are genuinely a lot of fun and sweet moments we've had together, but the years of constant sexualization and lack of consideration for me are starting to take a toll on me. I'm curious if anyone else has been in a relationship like this and if there was any recourse for you besides divorce. We just bought a house together and I'm in school, working full time. So thinking about separating makes me want to puke with the stress. But honestly, so does the stress of being in a situation like this. Writing it all out, the answer seems obvious, but I still would like to hear if anyone else has been with someone similar.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it seems like OP has come to the realization of what she has to do. Yes, it's gonna suck. We call for divorce in a lot of stories we talk about terrible people. It's gonna happen a lot. We say that knowing that it's difficult, but that your life after that will be better than if you stayed with someone who doesn't give a shit about you for 50 plus years. You know what I mean? Like that, like the year or 2 years that it takes you to get through a divorce, find someone else, like however long it takes, those painful years are worth the years after where you found someone that respects you, thinks about you, and genuinely cares about you, rather than the however like lifetime you would spend with this guy. And like the sexual assault stuff is just
That's not cool.
Not
It's
okay.
like unforgivable.
Not okay.
Like,
Yeah.
even sharing that, I know, I've never experienced that or, nobody's ever confided that kind of information to me, but I imagine it takes a lot to be vulnerable and explain and like, you know, go back to a traumatic time in your life and like really
Mhm.
talk to somebody and open up to somebody about it. So to do that with this person, your husband, who you're
The person you trust the most in the world.
trust the most in the world, and then
Yep.
he just completely forgets that it happened and is just sexualizing you at every stop, even though you've mentioned multiple times on countless occasions that this kind of brings me back into that spot where I feel like I don't have autonomy of my body.
Yeah.
And then he goes, my bad. And then 2 days later is back at
He
it again.
forgets and
Like
do it again.
that's not something you forget. If you love that person, that's not something you forget. So
Yeah.
you said it at the end there. Like the stress of a divorce is terrifying, but also so is the stress of knowing this could be your life forever.
Mhm.
That seems worse.
Yeah, completely agree with what you guys said, and to kind of elaborate more on what Josh is saying, he pretty much said what I wanted to say, anyways, as well. It is gonna be a momentary pain, and it's gonna be a momentary stress, but if you stay with this person for however years you guys end up together, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're being with someone who constantly sexualizes you when that's a place of hurt on your end. And they keep doing that to you over and over again. And they just keep asking for forgiveness whenever, every time they do something stupid, all their default thing to do is ask for forgiveness. And there's so many instances in your relationship where he'll only think about himself. And the one emergency situation you've had, he acted like a total douchebag to you. What if
And
there are
your mom.
strings of, and your mom, what if there are strings of emergencies that are going to happen as you get older? That usually happens, as you progress with your age as well. What happens when you have children, and there's going to be more priorities there? He's always going to think about himself, and you don't want to be with a person that only thinks of himself when a marriage or a partnership is about a combination of two or the whole family's whole well-being. So yes, it is going to suck. Divorce is going to be a terrible situation that you're going to be in. However, within, like what Josh said, it doesn't matter if it takes you a year or two, you're going to have that dead weight off of your shoulders, and you can hopefully, if it's something that you want to do, be with someone who looks after you and cares about your needs, and also be a partner, not just someone who's like, oh yeah, you're just a piece of meat to me. You don't want to be with anyone like that.
No.
Get therapy.